Welcome to the Iron Gathering, a conversation with men for men, hosted by Pastor Fabian Radway. Now, let's join today's conversation already in progress.
How about this one? Who said this one? Dre said this one. We blame God Himself. God Himself. Brother, matter of fact, Dre, why don't you come through and read a little bit for us if you can? John chapter 11, read this one here. You remember the story, Lazarus has died. He's laying up in the tomb, laid there probably stinking by now, and now Jesus decides to show up. What does his sister say, Martha say? Read, Brother Dre.
Upon his arrival, Jesus found that Lazarus had already been in the tomb for 4 days. His sister Martha said to Jesus, "Lord, if you had been here, my brother would not have died."
Lord, it's your fault that he's dead. If you had been here, it's your fault, Lord. How many? Y'all ever done that? Oh, no, y'all don't do that. Y'all are saints. The Reverend Dr. Saint Dallo. Huh? Saint DJ. Y'all don't do that kind of stuff, do you? Saint Rodney. No? Yeah. I know Deacon is a saint. Saint Daryl. If you had been there, Lord. Okay? But I know even now that God will give you whatever you ask. Who's to blame? God Himself. Let's do a little bit more. Dre, this was yours. Give us some more. Go back to Genesis. Go back to the garden. Tell us what happened in the garden. Because Adam was throwing blame everywhere, Dallo. Is the woman? He's pointing blame everywhere but himself, including at God. Go ahead, Dre. Tell us about this one.
And the Lord said to Adam, "Who told you that you were naked? Have you eaten from the tree which I commanded you that you should not eat?" Then the man said, "The woman whom you gave me, gave to be with me, she gave me of the tree and I ate."
So it's not just that it's the woman that you gave me. I was fine till you gave me this woman. And you gave me this woman. It's not my fault. It's her fault and your fault because you made her and gave her to me. Make me eat this fruit. I didn't want no fruit. I didn't want fruit. Fruit? What fruit? Blame it God.
Probably gonna say he was a vegetarian.
Blaming God for this thing. Here's some more. Numbers chapter 11. This one is a little bit longer. Let me read this one here. Listen to this one. Blaming God. This is a big one. Dre, thank you for sharing this one. Now, when the people complained, it displeased the Lord. For the Lord heard it, and His anger was aroused. So the fire of the Lord burned among them and consumed some in the outskirts of the camp. There was a mixed multitude who were among them, and they yielded to intense cravings. So the children of Israel also wept, saying, "Who's going to give us meat to eat?" Moses heard the people weeping throughout their families, everyone at the door of their tent. And the anger of the Lord was greatly aroused, and Moses was also displeased. I mean, the people are stressed. God is upset. Moses is displeased. Talk about blaming God. So Moses said to the Lord, "Why have you afflicted your servant? Why have I not found favor in your sight that you have laid the burden of these people on me?" This thing about blaming God is real, okay? It is very real. And y'all haven't done it yet. You haven't done it yet. Lord, you did this. I didn't tell. Thank you for the one brother. Thank you, Brother Ron, for the hand up. Yeah, Lord, this is your doing. You know, you promised never to leave me, and now look at where I am. This is you. Okay? You've laid this burden on my people. Then watch what he says. He goes on and he says more. Deacon Daryl, pick up some more of his complaint. He's really laying the Lord out here.
Did I conceive all these people? Did I beget them? That you should say to me, carry them in your bosom, as a guardian carries a nursing child to the land which you swore to their fathers?
Look, why are you afflicting me this way? You laid the burden on this people. Did I conceive these people? Did I get pregnant and carry them like a nurse? And what? I'm a man. I'm not a woman. I'm not a nurse. I don't carry people. This is all you're doing, Lord. Finish it up, Deacon.
Where am I to get meat to give to all these people? For they weep all over me, saying, give us meat that we may eat. I am not able to bear all these people alone because the burden is too heavy for me.
And that's usually when we start blaming, Brother Ron. Brother Dre, we blame when we're not able to do it. We know our shortcomings. We blame when we feel like we're all alone. Not only self-hatred, or if that's too strong, we don't love ourselves like Dre says, but part of the reason we don't like ourselves is because we don't feel like we're able. We don't feel like we're smart enough. Beauty, brains, and brawn. How about that, Brother Dallo? We don't feel like we look good enough. We don't feel like we're smart enough. We don't feel like we're strong enough, so we blame everybody else. I'm not able. I'm all alone. We blame others when it's too heavy. It's too much of a burden. And if you go back to the previous lesson, the pressure is not from God. Some of the stuff that's too heavy, you ain't had no business carrying anyway. You don't have to talk with me. Blaming God because God ain't helping you do something that you ain't got no business doing. Trying to be something you ain't supposed to be. Trying to go someplace you ain't supposed to go. Trying to get stuff that other people have. Why are you trying to be other people? Be you. You are good. Your life is good if you'd ever unpackage it, open it up and develop it. Work your own field. You discover there's a great harvest in you that's greater than the other fields. Remember we talked some time ago about the potato fields and the pineapple fields? You remember that? You chasing after the potato boys, stay in them pineapples. Pineapples, there's a market for pineapples. Here in North Carolina, there's a market for watermelon. Stop chasing them potato boys. Work your watermelon field. Taking on burdens to master the potato crop is too heavy for you. You don't have the tools. You don't have the resources. Stay in your lane and develop your package. Moses said, I'm not able. I can't do it alone. It's too heavy. I feel like we're talking to some of us here today. Don't blame, don't blame, don't blame, don't blame, don't blame. If this is Deacon, now watch it. Now he's feeling suicidal. Okay? Now I want to die. Deacon, pick it up. Finish it up. Finish it up, Deacon. Finish it up. Finish it up.
If this is how you're going to deal with me,
Stop. Notice blaming God again. If this is how you gonna deal with me, if you gonna deal with me this way, God is sitting here looking at, I'm not dealing with you, no way. But he's just blaming him. Keep going. Read.
please kill me here and now if I have found favor in your sight, and do not let me see my misery.
Blaming God. The next verse says, so the Lord said to Moses, the Lord will answer. The Lord will answer. That's the only part I put up there. You can read the rest of the story, but the Lord answers him. The Lord will answer you as well. Any thoughts? A conversation with men for men. We'll just stop right here for some conversation. Any thoughts on this? Anything you're seeing? Anything?
Pastor, I want to go back to something you said weeks and weeks ago, months ago, probably. Greatest thing in life is for us to learn how to hear from God, first of all. If we're not hearing from him, we're in bad shape already.
Yeah.
So assuming, I think most of the issues that lead to the blame game or to things not working out is because one, we haven't understood how to hear from God. Two, we haven't pursued him so we can hear from him, probably. Three, our self-image may not allow us to really believe that he has a plan for us and see ourselves the way he wants us to. So finally, when you get in the middle of something that you know he's now called you to do, when you're in the middle of it, when you're sure, which is where I actually am right now, more than ever in my life, what will then happen is what I got convicted on, but the scriptures is, then you will look at authority feature, the people in your life. The gentleman I'm serving, he's a general agent, so I'm under his authority. So now Satan is trying to have me find things wrong with this guy. See, I'm in the middle of God's calling now. I'm right there, baby. I'm moving forward. I can deal with the enemy. He's throwing things on me, but I know this is God's what called me to do, so I want to serve. But now there's a gentleman that I'm under authority with. So I had some disagreements with that person. The other day, I said things to him that were correct in what I said, but the venue I chose to say it was the wrong venue. As a result, so now what happens is you can be in the middle of God's perfect will. You know, you've heard from him, you're fighting off the enemy, you're giving the power, you're moving forward, and now he's going to put possibly a person there, someone that you cannot either A, get along with, you think someone's hindering you. Now someone's hindering you from receiving his perfect will. Guess what? That's another trap right there.
It is, and that's
what's our main problem is we don't want to yield to authority. Period.
That's good, and that gives me a perfect segue into where I'm going next about blame and responsibility. But it is a conversation with men for men. Anyone want to add anything to that, or something that they saw, or some other thought there?
Did and thank you, Brother Charles. That was beautiful And the thought that popped in my mind is sometimes God gives us the mission and the words to say, but he still gives us the personality to say it in our words. God gave Moses the mission, told Moses what to say to his brother when he was taking his people from captivity, but Moses still had to say it. He said it through his mouthpiece, and I think with Brother Charles, the devil just knew that you had the golden word from God. He just didn't want you to put it in God's terms. And sometimes, whenever I'm talking to my kids and I get a word from God, I can't say it to them all. It can't be churched up, or as people say, it can't be churchified. Sometimes you got to flip the script on that. And I think that's something that I have to learn, even in my own personal life. For sometimes I don't believe myself. Sometimes I won't be in the word like I'm supposed to be. Sometimes I won't be in communication and communion with God. And sometimes whenever the mission don't change, but sometimes you'll get that word and you just won't uh you won't apply the word with the proper seasoning. Sometimes it's too holy, it's too much salt. Sometimes you have to not dilute it. You just don't have to put as much on at that time. Sometimes you got to come back and reseason that meat.
Okay, okay. Let's move on really quickly for time's sake. Who's to blame? Here's another one up here. The devil. I've heard that a couple times right here this afternoon. But be careful about blaming the poor devil. Sometimes it ain't the devil, it is us. Okay, sometimes I watch this one. The Lord, go back to the garden. Everybody's getting blamed, Brother Dallo, except the right people. The spouse, the woman you gave me. God, the woman you gave me. Watch this one. The Lord said to the woman, what's this that you've done? The woman said, the serpent deceived me and I ate. Everybody's throwing blame. Go back to something Brother Charles said a moment ago. Another reason why we blame is because of poor self-image and this idea that we don't have enough inside of us to believe that God actually has something good for us. Anybody been there? You just don't believe that it's worthy. I don't feel worthy. And your sense of worthlessness affects your worldview, affects the way you look at situations. You feel everybody else is worthy of good stuff, worthy of a good wife, worthy of good
Yeah.
children, worthy of good job, worthy of good business, worthy of success and prosperity, but not me. I'm not worthy, but then we deflect and we blame other people. We blame other people. Okay. Here's another one. Who's to blame? The system. Deacon, read this story. Read this story really quickly. Here's a system. Read the system. Read this one. Read. 1, 2, 3, read.
After this, there was a feast of the Jews, and Jesus went up to Jerusalem. Now there is in Jerusalem by the sheep gate a pool, which is called in Hebrew Bethesda, having 5 porches. In these lay a great multitude of sick people, blind, lame, paralyzed, waiting for the moving of the water. For an angel went down at a certain time into the pool and stirred up the water.
So the system is, if you're sick, you lay there by the pool, the angel comes down, he stirs up the water, you get in, you get healed. Okay? It's a system. When I say system, I'm just not talking about government and politics. I'm talking about the way things are set up and you feel, well, it's set up against me. It's set up against us. Okay? The way the system is against us. And you forget that you got a God on your side. Okay? Read on, Deacon. What happened? Tell us more about the system. You got an angel, you got water, all those who are paralyzed lined up by the pool. When the angel stirs up the water, tell us what happened. Tell us how the system works. Read.
Then whoever stepped in first after the stirring of the water was made well of whatever disease he had.
There's a system in place. Straightforward. You get to the pool, line up out there around the pool, wait for the angel to come. He's going to stir up the water. Whoever gets in there first will be healed. What's the problem? Read, Deacon. What's the problem?
Now a certain man was there who had an infirmity 38 years. When Jesus saw him lying there and knew that he had already He already had been in that condition a long time. He said to him, "Do you want to be made well?"
In other words, I'm your God, and I'm going to help you get around the system. What's his response? His response is, I won't go into the whole thing. His response is, yeah, but I can't because of the system. I try to get down in there, and every time I try, somebody else get down there in front of me. He's blaming the system. Matter of fact, here it is. Read it. He can read.
The sick man answered him, "Sir, I have no man to put me into the pool
But that's
when the
not what I
water
asked you. That's not what I asked you. That's what you keep talking about the system. Stop talking about the system. Stop blaming the system. I asked you. What did I ask you, Deacon? Read at the very bottom. Read it. He said to him, last line. What did I ask you?
He said to him, "Do you want to be made well?"
That's all I asked you. I didn't ask you anything about no system. Stop blaming systems. I'm your God. I'm on your side. I simply ask you, do you want to get well? Well, yeah, I would, but you know, the system they got set up, and you know, got the angel first, and after the angel, you got to stir the water, and I try to get in, all these people get in front of me, the system stacked against, it's stacked against us. It's stacked against us, I tell you. Why y'all looking at me like that? Y'all ever heard conversation like that? It's stacked against us. I tell God didn't say that. God said, do you want to prosper or not? I'm going to show you the way. Well, I try. I'm talking about getting there. Another man comes in and steps down in front of me. Systems. Blaming the systems. Part of the systems we blame government. Okay? Y'all got quiet on me, but I'm talking this is a different kind of podcast. This is not a podcast we gonna blame and tear down the government. I'm trying to show you a way to win. Jesus said, look, I am your God. Do you want to be made well in your family? Do you want to be made well in your finances? Or do you want to blame the system? What do you want to do? Do you want to blame or do you want to prosper? You want to blame, sit here with your other crabs in the barrel. You want to prosper, I'll show you a way out. Okay? Same thing with government. Brother Dallo, as we said earlier, fathers. The reason I can't because of what my father did to me. Who's to blame? Children, self, other people, spouse, God, the devil, government, systems, fathers. All kinds of places where we put blame. But we want to go in, it's with the bottom of the hour here, got about 25 minutes left in this conversation. We want to shift real quick. Somebody holler shift. We want to move from blame to responsibility, reconciling the two, Brother Dahlman, for the win. You got to reconcile them for the win. The opposite, get this, the opposite of blame is responsibility. Brother Drake calls it accountability. That is the opposite. At some point, you have to take responsibility for what's taking place. Conversation here. First of all, what does it mean to take responsibility for a thing? Go, somebody tell me. What does it mean? What does that mean? Anybody? What does it mean to take responsibility for a thing? Instead of blaming.
Taking responsibility, it breeds accountability and the means to resolve and want to take action.
Okay, talking about looking for a means to resolve it, taking action. I love it. Resolution and action. Taking responsibility says, I'm going to find a way to fix this. Okay, anybody else want a piece of this? What does it mean to take responsibility? I love that. Resolution and action. I'm going to find a way out, and I'm going to lead us in that way. I'm going to find an answer, and I'm going to take us out of this. I'm talking about manhood, Iron Man, what it costs for a man to be a champion in life. We cannot be blaming. We have to take responsibility. I'm not yelling at nobody. Please don't get Pastor Broadus on here to beat us this morning. No, I'm not beating nobody. I'm talking passionately because a lot of us are here. Blame the system, blame the wife, blame the children, blame our fathers, blame our heritage, blame ourselves, blame everywhere, and not enough responsibility. But we won't win until we take responsibility. And responsibility, I believe that was Marcus, according to Marcus, one of the ways that we do it. Responsibility, we need to talk about solutions and actions. Solutions and actions. What does it mean? Anybody else want a piece of this? What does it mean to take responsibility for a thing? Anybody else? I love that. Thank you.
I would say to go against the grain.
Ooh, go
As
against
far
it.
as- Yeah, you got to work hard for a purpose, whatever purpose it is, because people will they want everything handed to them.
Yes. You got to work. Brother Donald said, you got to work. Take responsibility means to get your hands into it and get dirty. Some of us don't want to get dirty, especially when what listen to me, Deacon, especially when how we got here wasn't your fault. Look, I'm on your side. I get it. Some of what we taking responsibility for, it wasn't my fault why we got here. You got to put my manicured hands. You just got your hands manicured. And you going to put your hands down in that horse manure? Yes. Brother Dahlman said you got to work. You got to take a plan, get a plan, get ready to do some work, get your hands in it, make something happen here. Okay? But it's not my fault. Deacon, read what's on that screen, please.
But it's not my fault. Taking responsibility for how we got here is not the same thing as self-blame or accepting blame.
Let me be clear about something. Taking responsibility is not about accepting blame. Okay? Brothers, I'm on your side. I'm with you. I'm not saying to accept blame when it wasn't your fault. But responsibility says that even though it's not my fault, we're going to find a solution. We're going to put our hands to the plow. We're going to work. We're going to take some action. I'm going to lead us forward in the business. I'm going to lead us forward in this family situation. I'm going to lead us forward in this health issue, this health related. I'm going to lead us forward in this ministry situation. You name your situation, circumstance, your challenge. I'm taking responsibility here for the win. I'm not going to blame. I have every right to blame you because we got here because of you. Okay? It really is your fault. But I'm not blaming nobody. I'm going to take responsibility because I've got an interest in winning. I want to win. I want us to win. And if you're not going to do it, I'm going to take responsibility, come up with some resolution, take action, put our hands to the plow, put in the work. I'm going to take responsibility for how we got here, not the blame, the responsibility of figuring out how to move forward. Conversation with men, for men. Any thoughts on this? Any thoughts for any of this?
Well, when you do that, Pastor, when you take on that responsibility, that's how leaders are born. That's how
Yes.
You learn not to so much as put the blame on people, but you learn to help them out. They might be lacking in an area or struggling, and you kind of take up the gap for them, and that pushes you where God wants you to go because it puts you into leadership.
Yes. Forgive me for being so passionate, but I'm passionate about this because, Dalo, I see men blame folks all the time, but the rest of the story is responsibility, and I'm not hearing enough men take responsibility for how to move forward, to fill in the gap. The wife is piling on you. She's cussing you. She's fussing you. She's putting the horse manure and the cow manure mixed together with pig manure and goat manure. She got all kind of manure. She just dumping it. What you laughing at, Deacon? She just pouring it out on you. Okay, I get it. And the unfair thing, Brother Charles, manhood is unfair. Brother Dalo, manhood is unfair. Being a man, it is unfair. It is unfair. They get to dump, but we have to shoulder it. We have to take the responsibility of correcting it. It's not fair, Brother Dre. I know. DJ, it's not fair. I know it's not fair. What did the songwriter say? Nobody told me that the road would be easy, but it didn't bring you this far to lead you. I don't believe you brought me this far to leave me. I just felt this prophetically. I had to say it. It's not my fault. Taking responsibility for how we got here is not the same as accepting the blame for getting us here. It's saying we're here, now follow me. We're here, now this is where we're going to go. We're here, but this is the plan. We're here, but I have a God walk with me. Okay? Let's go on a little further. Any thoughts on this? Any more thoughts on this before I move on?
I just want to insert one thing,
Go ahead,
Pastor.
Brother Dre. Go ahead.
Jesus Christ took the blame for what all of us did, and none of what he did. So that's who we follow.
Dre ain't taking no prisoners this morning. Dre want to kill all of us. Dre, sir, I salute you. He's absolutely right. Jesus, in taking responsibility for your sin, is not the same thing as taking the blame for your sin. He's saying, I see a way out. Follow me. I'm taking you out of the guilt. I'm taking you out of the shame. I'm taking you out of the mess. I'm taking you out of the drug addiction. I'm taking you out of the alcohol. I'm taking you out of the pornography. I'm not taking the blame. I wasn't the one looking at the porn. You were. I wasn't the one drinking it up. You were. I wasn't the one smoking the stuff. You were. I wasn't the one drinking, drugging, sexting, lying, cheating. You were doing it. But I, as the Christ, am taking responsibility. Thank you, Dre. I mean, that just helped. That's right. That's it right there, Deacon. I thought I was being cute putting this up here. Dre walk on the stage and just drop the mics. Let me show y'all something. Bam. Christ is the example of follow his example. This answers those of you who are in family situations where you are not to blame. How we got here is the wife's fault. How we got here is the system. How we got here is the children. How we got here is because of the Father. Jesus is saying how we got here in your life, it is all your fault. But I am taking responsibility to get you out. Follow Christ. Thank you, Dre. Thank you. Follow his example. Taking responsibility for how we got here is not the same thing as self-blame or accepting the blame.
Pastor, Jesus walks a fine line with us. Although we're sinners, certainly saved by grace.
The Iron Gathering is a ministry of Powerhouse International Church. Listen or be part of the conversation at ironman1.org.